Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Pretend Problems Podcast. I am Kelsey Cook.
I am Chad Daniels.
And, wow, that was quick. She didn't know I was going to do that, so that was kind of fun. We had a fantastic trip.
Yes. Wait, what's the thing from Anchorman where he has to read the cards? He can't help himself.
Oh, I can't remember.
Damn it. I wish I could remember because I wish I would have said whatever that was instead.
That would be very funny.
And I'm fuckface McGillicuddy. That's not that, but it's something like that.
Pretty close.
Yes, we just got back from Cancun. If you can't tell from YouTube, I celebrated St. Patrick's Day by burning my pasty Irish skin by the equator, and it hurts. I'm in a lot of pain.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pushing through.
I just got some more old man sunspots. That's what I did.
You tan so easily.
I do tan so easily, but it's probably not good for me. Who knows? Yeah. Guess what? I don't care. I just don't care. I have 3 good years left, and I want to fucking look the best I can.
Yeah, we didn't really have any sort of in between. We went from how many months of a Minnesota winter to just 90 degrees in the sun of Cancun for a week straight.
It was hot.
It was so fucking hot.
Your fingers are swollen hot.
Yeah.
Where you try to make a fist, you're like, well, I'm just going to rip my skin if I do that. So you're walking around like a soccer goalie, hands wide.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know why I got sunburnt as badly as I did?
I have no idea.
I haven't told you this yet because it's so dumb that I thought I would just save it for the podcast and let you judge me in real time.
I have a guess, but go ahead.
Okay. So I don't actually go in the sun that much on a vacation like this.
There's a lot of moving umbrellas. There's a lot of doing trigonometry where it's like, well, if the flagpole has a shadow 12 feet long, then where do I need to put this umbrella so my white ass girlfriend doesn't die from sun poisoning?
I mean, look at this color.
Yeah.
It's like twilight. Like you can see all my veins. I'm so white. And I tried to say white instead of white.
It is
call back to episode.
Whiter than a belly's tummy. A belly's tummy. A frog's belly. There we go. I'm still drunk. Hi, I'm Chad Daniels. Welcome to I'm Still Drunk. Do you have a belly tummy? Well, try our new ad, Belly Tummy Relief.
I still laugh sometimes thinking of what you said on, I think it was episode 1 or 2, where you, instead of saying window, you said winder. And then you said, Mama, we ain't got no winder coverings. And it made me laugh so hard.
I don't remember what I said last episode. So.
It's a soundbite that lives on in my head.
Oh, well, great.
Like a favorite movie quote.
Well, good.
Yeah. Okay, so on the trip, I would generally just stay under the shade, under an umbrella at the pool.
Yeah.
But I was still wearing sunscreen. And then the last day, I came from the steam room. And I was like all sweaty and I just was like, I don't want to put sunscreen on. And I was like, you know what? I'm sitting under an umbrella. I'm fine. I didn't think that you could get sunburnt sitting under an umbrella.
That's interesting.
And it turns out that that's not real shade. It's not like, I mean, you're not in direct sunlight, but those rays that burn you are still going straight fucking through that umbrella.
Yeah, the UV rays are like, it's like when you walk into a room and you just have to go, oh, excuse me just a sec. That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
It's not a bouncer going, you have to stay out. They're going, come on in. It's busy, but come on in. You're like, okay. It's almost like a dance club where they let fucking 18-year-olds into.
More on that later. More on that at 5.
I'm an old man that goes to spring break and can't stand it.
Yeah. Anyway, I did this to myself from my own sheer stupidity. I'm like Michael Scott rubbing sunscreen on a window, thinking that that's the same. Your right thigh / butt cheek they're purple. It's purple. Yeah. It's, I think, the worst sunburn I've ever had in my life, especially because that's like the palest part of my body. Right. I mean, that never sees the light of day. Right. And it's purple. It's so burnt. I guess pray for my body.
Praying for it. I thought you did that for me. I thought you were saying like, hey, we're Vikings fans again because Kirk Cousins is gone.
Permanent purple on my leg.
I'm just gonna get a purple butt.
No.
You do have a light ass butt cheek. I mean, it's like opaque.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I see it, I'm like, okay, how do we get to 494? Almost like following a roadmap. We had some fun. We did have some. We don't have to get into that.
We had some fun.
But we had some fun.
It felt like it was as hot as hell would be. And then at times also felt like we were in hell.
So, but my son got married, and I'm going to say something, and I don't think it was because it was my son's wedding. I've thought about this for a long time. It was so goddamn fun. The dance, everything. I mean, it was probably because it was outside. Obviously, I was drinking a whole bunch of tequila.
Yeah.
I was, the gross old guy that gathers up all the young kids at the wedding is like, let's go do shots. That's me. Now, of course, I did know these people because they were my son's friends and daughter's friends, but I still was that guy.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I had a lot of shots.
You are their Van Wilder.
I had a lot of shots.
Did you have a lot of shots at the wedding?
So many fucking. Are you kidding me?
I didn't see one of them.
Yeah, I know. I didn't do one with you. It was with everybody else. I went out. I was just trying to sleep, trying to forget. Doesn't matter. Let's keep going.
Oh, you guys. This show. I did one shot on the last night because we played mini golf with our group of friends that were there. And it was actually my idea. We were 2 holes in, and I foolishly said, why don't we start a bet on this? Because you and I we can't do anything now without bets being placed, I feel like. And so we decided that anytime you got a hole in one, you'd have to take a shot. Was it the loser had to take, or the winner had to take a shot? Winner had to take the shot.
Well, it was whoever got a hole in one. Yeah, then the winner and then the loser. Yeah, both. Yep.
And I'm not great at golf, guys, but guess who got 2 fucking holes in one and almost a third one? That last shot, I almost got another one.
And guess who did? 1 shot.
It's the last day.
We had to change the rules whenever I fucking want to.
It was the last day of drinking for an entire week straight.
That's true.
We took 1 day off. Yeah. And we are not those people. We don't drink very often.
I might become that person. I had a lot of fun being drunk the whole time. I did. I feel like I slept fine. I got up and watched the sunrise one day. I wasn't sleeping anyway, so I thought, well, let's just go outside. It was, I have to tell you something. My son, you need to know that 4 years ago, I didn't know what he was going to do with himself. Yeah. And, I always knew, obviously I knew he had potential, and I've loved him no matter what he's going through. And I just didn't know. He didn't really have any direction. Yeah. His vows to his wife, Morgan, and Morgan to him.
Yeah.
I mean, these are, I always say kids. I go, you kids, shit like that. They are full ass adults.
Yeah.
And so impressive as people and so in love.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I've seen my son cry not too often. I don't know why he hides it from me. I have never asked him to. Yeah. I have never made fun of him for crying.
Yeah.
But he hides it from people, and his chin started to quiver when she walked down the aisle, and then I was like, that's a good thing I have sunglasses on, because immediately drip 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 drip.
It was so sweet. So sweet.
Yeah, and they're so fun and funny, and on one of the days we had a reservation so the deal is like, we got to go into this room where a man made us reservations.
Yeah.
And we didn't really understand the process. And so when we got there, they said, this isn't the place for reservations, it's the other restaurant. And my son walked up and handled it.
He was really an adult.
And I was just like, dude. And of course, I know that he's a 24-year-old. I understand that. But but still, it's just so interesting to me.
Yeah.
Great to see. The dance was epic.
Yeah. One of the best weddings I've ever been to, easily.
Yeah.
Nothing went wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's the best advice you can give somebody when they're about to have a wedding is just say, hey, just know something's going to go wrong. So that way, if and when it does, you're not like, oh, damn it, I wanted today to be perfect. It's just like, just know something's going wrong. I don't think anything, I mean, I guess they didn't like bring beer to the room service stuff, but the wedding itself, nobody gave a toast that went for 15 minutes.
Right.
There was nothing like awkward. The DJ was unbelievable. They're not a lull in the music.
Yep.
Morgan's dad gave one of the sweetest toasts ever.
Oh my God.
He goes, Morgan loves so fiercely, and her favorite thing when she was a baby, she had a blanket called Binky. And then all of a sudden he pulls out this, I mean, Jesus aged cloth. It was.
It looked like it's how they wrapped the baby in swaddling clothing.
Yeah, like he pulls it out of the bag. You just see pieces fly into the air. It's this like disintegrating cloth, but he holds it up, and the end of the speech, basically the mic drop, was him turning to Isaac and being like, "This is how she's gonna love you. Like she is going to love you this hard."
I'm gonna start crying right now.
Oh,
it was so great.
Yeah, it was
really just a really just fantastic time. And her parents, Paul and Debbie are their names, and they they put this thing on in Mexico. So this is where they have a timeshare. This is where they've been going forever. So any email as small as, I'd like to try to get a reservation for this place on Tuesday night. They handled all of that shit, from golf to the meet and greet on Tuesday to the groom's dinner to the wedding, because they knew that if we tried to handle it, we'd never been there and we didn't know what was going on. So we kept asking if we could help, and they were like, "No, you really can't. I promise this will be easier." And it was just outrageous. I mean, it was the whole thing, just incredible.
There were over 100 people at this wedding, and Paul and Debbie were basically over 100 people's personal assistant for a week straight.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a client list of 100 plus. I was just like, sure, I'll send that email. Sure, I'll coordinate that. Sure, I'll do that. Because nobody else knew how to do anything. It was incredible.
I was told to bring $100 in ones and fives for tips, because this is an all-inclusive resort.
Yeah.
And turns out I tipped too much. So I was out of money the second day. And so I had to...
It's a good problem. You're a very generous man.
Ask Paul. I was asking him because we had to tip the servers at the groom's dinner and the wedding and the DJ and everything. And so I had to Venmo him. And then my friend Regan came, and I had to, before he came, I texted him, "Can you bring me more money and I'll Venmo you?" And then at the last night, I was like, "Do you have any more money I can Venmo?" I mean, I'm such a dipshit.
You're so nice.
Well, no. It's just like I travel all the time and don't think to bring more than 100 ones. I mean, and whatever. But yeah, absolutely incredible. Now, I'd like to talk about my friends that showed up.
Great. And then I'd like to talk about girls' swimsuit bottoms.
That's why I was drunk the whole time. Anyways, I had a couple of friends show up. Regan and Chris. They're a couple. I have known Regan since I was 21. We met we both worked at a restaurant, University of Minnesota campus. Mm-hmm. And they came to the wedding. Now, Isaac was the ring bearer in their wedding. Regan was in my wedding. I was in his wedding. And we have been just thick as thieves for a while.
Great people.
Yep. When I got divorced was right before Isaac graduated. Mm-hmm. And so kind of awkward, kind of tense. And the friends had to like pick a side at that point, right? And a lot of the friends chose otherwise. Mm-hmm. And Regan and his mom drove 3 hours to come to this graduation, say hello, give me a hug, make sure I didn't need anything, got back in their car and drove back. Oh my That's God. Fucking wild. These guys have been at every important night of my career. These guys have been, it really is insane. Also, Chris has one personal day off for work a year, And so she used it to go, but also had to like do a bunch of extra shit to get a second day off.
Yeah, they're MVP level friends. Anybody would be so lucky to have friends like this.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, Regan Murphy is his full name. And I'm telling you this because for the first time in his entire life, he missed his hometown's St. Patrick's Day parade to come to this thing. I mean, it really was unbelievable. Yeah. And then we have my friend Christian, who's the best man in my wedding. And he was in Morocco and Spain. So we had to go from Morocco to Spain. He had 2 flights canceled on him. And then a layover in Mexico City. And he was only there for 2 days. I mean, the fucking friends I have, come on with it.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
they're crazy.
And for other friends that are listening, I invited some other friends. Just people have a lot of shit going on. You can't drop everything to go to Mexico. I understand that, but I was very thankful that I did have some folks come, and just really, it was a really great week. Let's talk about those butt cheeks.
Okay. I'm gonna sound so old. You're always like, I sound old. I'm going to sound old right now. The current style for bikini bottoms is a thong. Like, it's just an actual thong.
Yeah.
And sorry, go ahead.
No. It's just pretty wild. You see these girls walk by and you want to tap them on the shoulder and go, you can report that bullying, right? Snuggies are no longer allowed.
Snuggies?
Wedgies. Snuggies, wedgies.
I've never heard snuggies before.
Oh, yeah, where you pull them up through the butt cheek. I mean, it is nuts. And these are 16-year-old girls, 15, some of them.
Yeah.
And I don't need it. I don't want it. Then they're everywhere, by the way. You can't avoid them.
You can't. I mean, I really had a hard time finding anybody who was wearing an actual bikini bottom. It was all thongs everywhere, and it was pretty shocking. I know there are so many videos now online that are, like what my friends and I were doing in high school, and it's just like us being so cringy trying to learn like the choreography to NSYNC's Bye 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 or something, and like perform it for our parents, and then it jumps to what teenage girls are like now, and it's them making TikToks and like fake eyelashes, like they look 24. Yeah. Completely. I mean, it is nuts.
It is very nuts. I don't have a spank bank, but I will tell you, if I did, it would have been closed for a full week. Because it's just, it is, I don't feel like a pervert. I'm not looking for any of that stuff. And it's just all around. I can't wait to get to the age where I am looking for that. I can't wait till I'm 75 and I'm actually like, hey, nice butt cheeks.
You better not be.
Oh man, I'm gonna be on heroin, so I'm not gonna know what I'm saying.
Don't be gross. Don't be a gross old man, please. But yeah, it was unavoidable. You would have had to walk everywhere looking at your feet to not see full asshole a lot of the time. Yeah. It was intense. So I just felt very old and very like Mormon. That's not what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of I felt very Amish. I felt like
sure.
I wanted to put a bonnet on them or something and be like, this is madness.
Well, let's not get crazy here. I mean, it's not like you're in a full one-piece 1930s diver's outfit that goes down to your knees. I mean, you got your jugs out. And
even if I wore a one piece, I think my jugs would still be out. We've talked about this. I
know, but your tit to swimsuit ratio. And by the way, I don't care. I'm not like complaining about it. Okay. I'm just telling you it's not. So at one point, I looked over at you and I thought a teenage girl was standing right here with her butt cheeks, but it was just your tits.
And you don't like it?
I love it. Okay. I'm just telling you, it's like you don't have to feel that Amish.
Sure.
Because it's like you're still out there showing some stuff.
It's true.
Which I like I said, I don't care because I like looking over and checking it out.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, of course.
I buy swimsuits from all different places, and my boobs still look the same in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I got some from Target. I've got some from Victoria's Secret. Yeah. They're not meant to be like itty bitty swimsuits. It's just boobs are boobs.
Yeah. Now I go a little different route when I'm out in the sun. I don't take my t-shirt off for anything, and I have shorts on that go down to my knees, and I'm a weirdo. I would love to be able to take my shirt off. I'm going to tell you something, and I'm not shaming. I would like to explain this.
Sure.
I saw so many people that were a lot fatter than me walking around owning it. Tan. That's where I'm not tan. I'm tan from about here, my bicep down to my hands.
Yeah.
And then my knees to my feet. That's where I'm tan. I don't have a tan anywhere else because I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I can't stand taking my shirt off in front of other people.
Yeah. Older dudes are just living their best life in the pool.
Yeah.
Tits. What's the description you like to use? Like pancakes floating?
Yeah, pancake tits.
Pancake tits, just
where you when you start to submerge your body, but then your tits stay up and they stay up with the water on top, like an oil spill.
They just rest on your cheek.
Yeah. It is nice because you can put your beer on one and then your elbow up on the other one, kind of keep your hand out of the water so they don't get pruny.
I told Chad I was so bloated the other day that I tried to fold my clothes on my stomach like a pregnant woman. It didn't work, but...
No, it sure didn't.
I tried. We also got to take a chocolate making class, and that was fucking cool.
Yeah. Also why I don't take my shirt off.
I've never gotten to do anything like that, but it was a class called Bean to Bar, and they show you the whole process of the cacao bean, and we got to make our own chocolate bars, and it was
it was very, very
heavenly.
Cool. Yeah.
And I guess that's it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Well, we should plug dates.
Let's plug some dates.
And then we'll do questions.
Okay.
So this weekend, I'm in Rosemont and Chicago. Those shows are already sold out, some of them. So if you want to go, I would get tickets right now. And then I'm in Minneapolis next weekend. Again, half of those shows are sold out. You got to get tickets fast. Like that will also all sell out. And then I shoot my special the weekend after that in Madison on April 6th. I also have shows on the 4th and 5th there. I'm just not shooting my special then. And then after that, I am in Sacramento, Vegas, Salt Lake City, Denver, Kansas City, and then Chad and I do the BERT tour, which is South Carolina.
It's South Carolina, Florida, and Georgia.
Yes.
In some certain cities.
Yes. And I have fall dates, but I don't have them up yet. But Chad has all his fall dates.
This week, I am going to be Thursday, tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm going to be in Kansas City. Then I'm going to drive up to Omaha, Nebraska. And then the week after that, I'm off. And then the week after that, I'm off. And the week after that, April 11th, I'm going to be in Brooklyn at the Bell House. April 12th, I'm going to be at the Wilbur in fucking Boston, Massachusetts.
Boston kid.
And then the 19th and 20th, I'm going to be in Milwaukee. May 3rd and 4th, I will be in Nashville. May 9th and 10th, maybe that's not right. I'm going to be, 3rd and 4th is right. But the 10th or 11th in May, I'm going to be in Cincinnati. And then 17th through the 19th, I will be in Austin at Mothership. And then I'm going to be in Springfield, Missouri in June, along with our the big, fully loaded tour with Bert. Mm-hmm. And then in July, I'm going to be in Detroit. But then I want to read this. Now, no one knows about this yet, but since you're listening to this, I just want to give you a heads up so you can get tickets early if you want. I don't even know if you can get tickets yet, but you can go to these sites. September 13th to 14th, Spokane, Washington. September 20th and 21st, Tampa. October 3rd and 4th, Madison, Wisconsin, Comedy on State. October 18th and 19th, Columbus at the Funny Bone. November 8th and 9th, Denver at South Comedy Works. November 20th in San Francisco. November 21st through 23rd in Sacramento. December 6th and 7th, Salt Lake City. December 13th and 14th, Las Vegas.
Let's go. ChadDaniels.com. For tickets?
Just ChadDaniels.com.
Damn it.
That's okay.
Every time I try to really news reporter and make it sound smooth, I fuck it up.
But it's only because everything else is that Chad Daniels. Because there's a kid in California that beats me to all social media.
What a chode.
Yeah, but then got him on the website, but he didn't need anything. He's got all the fucking social media.
Sorry.
That's okay.
That sucks. Not to rub it on your face, but kelseycook.com. Oh, but that's what yours is. I can't keep them straight.
Wow.
Daniels.
You're right. I didn't feel like you rubbed it in my face at all.
All right. Should we do some questions?
Let's do some questions. I'm still drunk.
What's Sam and Mark's podcast? We might be drunk?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Does that hurt your toe?
No, not at all.
Guys, as always, if you want to write in and get some advice from us, the email address is pretendproblemspodcast@gmail.com. And as always, we have a whole new batch of amazing questions. And we still have, like, if you wrote in a while ago and we haven't read your question, just know we have this long list of them. And we're currently trying to figure out, should we talk about the Patreon stuff right now?
Yeah, I think what we'd like to do is we would like to ask you, the listener, what you would want the Patreon to be. Is it like we do an episode with drinking games? Mm-hmm. Do we turn on a show without the show's sound and just comment on it so you guys could watch the show and kind of, it's almost like a director's cut? That seems a little narcissistic, but I'm just throwing these out.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had one where obviously that we've talked about before that we would just really go question heavy. We would just answer as many. It would almost be like answering just questions. Mm-hmm. So if you have an idea, we would love to hear. Let us, you write in, let us know. And then the most we get, what are you laughing at?
Sorry, I took a drink of my water.
It's from last week?
And then, no. Oh. I took a drink of my water. And then as I was listening to you, I went to take another drink of water and I went.
She put the mic in her mouth instead. Oh, it's very funny.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
No, that's okay. But then we'll just read what you guys think, and then the majority will win, and we'll try that. And if it doesn't work, we'll try again. But we got to figure something out because these questions are all good.
Yeah.
And it's tough to trim the fat because there isn't any.
Yeah, they all deserve responses. It would be fun, I think, with each new Love is Blind episode that comes out to do commentary on those episodes because we've talked about the show so heavily on here.
I would love to do that like next season.
Yeah.
I think that would be so much fun.
Yeah. We could like change up our Patreon. It doesn't always have to be just questions or just drinking games.
Yeah.
But just bonus content because, well, I'll read one of the emails that you guys sent us in. That was really sweet about wanting more content from us. I'll do that at some point. But okay, this is our first question to answer, and it's a heavy hitter.
Ooh. Now, again, you need to know that I don't read these before the show. I
select them, and then Chad doesn't like to know beforehand. He just wants to experience it in the moment.
Just for you guys.
It's just for you guys.
If I have any information beforehand, it's going to be long-winded and I talk too much anyways.
No, you don't. Okay, this is titled, How Do I Bring Up Divorce?
What do you mean, to
their partner.
Oh, fuck. My stomach just dropped.
Oh, I told you some of these. I was like, I was trying to let you know ahead of time what some of this was about.
Okay, how to bring up divorce. Ooh, god damn. I thought it was like, okay.
I know.
Ready.
Thank you guys for even wanting our advice on some of these very big questions.
This is real shit.
Okay. They say, hey, y'all, my name is blank. I'm going to say it just in case.
Slim Shady.
My name is Slim Shady. I've been a longtime fan of Chad and discovered him on Pandora. I'm a recent fan of Kelsey and a huge fan of the podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much.
I'm married with 2 children and I'm in the military and have been for almost 9 years and have been married for 7 years. I have been unhappy in my marriage for some time. I'm not in love with my wife anymore. We got married very young, as a lot of couples do in the military. I don't know how to tell her I want a divorce. She's a great mother and a good person. We just don't see eye to eye on almost every topic, and we are very different people than we were younger. I feel I would be a better father co-parenting. How do I, for a lack of better term, rip off the Band-Aid? Thank you both for your help. Ooh, heavy.
Super heavy. Yeah, when you get married, you're in a gray area.
Yeah.
And you can, like some couples where it works, they grow towards one another.
Yep.
And then when it doesn't work, it's because you're both kind of growing apart. And,
Right.
and I think that is very difficult. I'm just going to tell you the first thing that came to my head. I would bring it up. I would tell her. I would not do anything else that is going to, because you might have this thought, well, I'm going to go do this and make her make the decision. Don't do that.
Yep, don't do that.
Please look at me in the face. Don't do that.
Yeah.
That is no bueno. I just was in Mexico. But so I don't know exactly how you're going to do it. My advice would, you just kind of have to. I think what you said in the email is a good place to start.
Yeah. What you're saying is very kind. I mean, I don't think you need to say I'm not in love with you anymore. I feel like that's...
Oh yeah, leave that part out.
She'll doesn't need to hear that.
And she'll also get it when you say divorce.
Right. But when you're saying that she's a great mother and a good person and that you just don't feel that you guys are the right fit anymore, I mean, this is such a common thing when you get married young, or even just if you're dating young. I think you change so quickly in your 20s, like over and over and over. And what Chad's talking about of growing together, it's like, man, that's hard to both keep going in the same direction when a lot of people just don't know who they are yet.
Your brain doesn't even isn't fully developed until you're 25.
Yeah. And also, have you met a 25-year-old? That's scary because they're not even like full adults yet anyway. Mm-hmm. I do think Isaac and Morgan are such an exception. They seem so adult, but I would be honest but kind. Like, speak your truth, but ask how she's feeling. Like, I don't know how much of this you've talked about with her at all. Like, maybe she's also feeling this. Maybe she's not, and I know that will be harder if she isn't. But I do think if you don't feel like this is the right fit, you're doing her a service to stop wasting her time as well, so that she could go be with somebody who's a better fit for her, and you could find somebody who's a better fit for you, you know?
And I would really think about this. Are you sure that you're not in love with her, or are you just kind of going through a lull? Because I'm going to tell you, you have a lot of work ahead of you with 2 children and, custody. And if you're in the military, I don't know if that means that you still have to get moved around. Yeah. I mean, I don't know any of this. I think, did you serve overseas? Was she home when you did that? This is not going to be easy, no matter what. The easiest divorce is hard. So, the only thing I wish you the best, but I would say, don't be mean when you're talking to her about it, and don't go do something fucking stupid. Yeah. To go, well, I'm going to take the responsibility off me and I'm going to put the ball in her court. I'm going to do something to make her say, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Don't do that. That is not going to help anyone. And I promise you are going to regret that for the rest of your life. Yeah.
You are in a very neutral position right now. You have the ability to go have this conversation and have it clean and see how she feels as well. So we'll be thinking of you. Yeah. This is big. Please. Yeah. I mean, if you want to, we always say we want to know what's going on. So if you want to send us a follow-up, we'd love to know.
Yeah. And I would also just remember, you're going to have 2 kids later on that remember how you handle this.
Ooh. Yeah.
So.
Damn, good point.
Obviously, military guy, I would imagine, classy and can do the right thing. Mm-hmm. So I would stick with that as my game plan. Yeah.
Okay, this next one, it's titled "My Mother-in-Law and Veganism." Ooh. Gear shift. Mm-hmm. And they have 2 separate questions. So they say, "Hi, Chad and Kelsey. I'm a huge fan of your show, and I adore your relationship. You definitely bring out the best in each other, and I love listening to you. Kelsey, I have been a helpster since the beginning and fully intend on fangirling when I see you in Minneapolis next weekend."
Oh, nice.
Thank you. The previous podcast I was on was called Self-Helpless, and we called our listeners helpsters. So if you don't know, that's what that means. So like I said, they have 2 questions. They say, question number 1, my in-laws got divorced almost 2 years ago. My father-in-law is stuck with a loan as part of the settlement, and he's been heartbroken, sharing every part of the journey with my husband and me. My mother-in-law has yet to discuss the divorce at all with us, besides one very forced conversation my husband started between the 2 of them. We occasionally get together and continue to have surface level, small talk type of conversations, and it drives me crazy. I don't feel like I can trust my mother-in-law, who left her husband of 30 years with no discussion to him or us. I am very bothered by her lack of transparency or acknowledgement of how her actions affected her family, and am especially anxious about still having this kind of relationship with her should my husband and I decide to have a family one day. How would you recommend I have a conversation with her / attempt to improve this?
You want me to go?
Sure.
That's tough because you're the in-law.
Yeah.
But I would say she owes your husband, I mean, and you, but she might throw that in your face, but
yeah.
She owes your husband an explanation, I would think.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, just to get up and leave after 30 years with no explanation. I mean, listen, sometimes people grow apart. We just talked about it. And people have to live their life based on their happiness. They just, unfortunately, they do. And people get hurt when that happens.
Yeah.
But I just, I think she owes him an answer of why it happened. I
do too. And I don't know, I mean, I say this quote a lot, you can't control the people around you, but you can control the people around you. Where you're saying like you feel like you don't know how you're going to have a relationship with her if you have kids and all this going forward. And ultimately, you're not going to be able to control whether she tells you or not. I think my advice is to try to have a very transparent conversation with her and say this sort of a thing where you're like, I'm worried about how this will affect our whole dynamic moving forward as an extended family. And I want to understand you and connect to you. But if she still doesn't open up about that, I mean, sometimes I can't, this isn't a blanket statement for this older generation, but like I think a lot of millennials parents don't go to therapy in general. Like, right. Like talking about their feelings, getting help in that way is something that a lot of that age bracket is not super comfortable with.
Yeah, a lot of them were brought out before the sun was up to the barn and handed a knife and been like, slit the pig's throat, we need ham for Easter. And then they were like, and don't fucking cry about it. Don't you dare cry about it. I know you love this pig. I know you named it. Slit its fucking throat. And then they're not allowed to, I mean, it's pretty nuts, that generation.
Yeah, truly though. Yeah, no, I mean, that's like a real example.
I know. From nuts. Charlotte's Web. I know.
Yeah, these boomers. It's so just keep in mind that what you're asking her to do, it seems like you're very comfortable talking about your feelings. I mean, being able to even write an email like this, obviously. Just know that she might not have that skill set. She might not be comfortable talking about something that personal. She might not even have been honest with herself about why she left yet. Like who knows what's going on. But I think you also need to prepare yourself for the possibility that she just might not. And you can't control that. And then you're just going to have to decide what kind of involvement you want in your life with her. Yeah, but you do get to decide how often she gets to see your kids if you have them. Totally. Because you don't want her fucking bringing them to Epstein Island or whatever weird shit she's going to do. Yeah. Okay, this is the second question they wrote in. They say, this is not relationship related. This is more for Kelsey, but would love to hear Chad's no bullshit response too.
Ooh, all right.
She get old man bumper stickers that say no bullshit.
I got no bullshit up here.
I've been vegan for almost 2 years and have found myself wanting to eat animal products lately.
Do it. There's my no bullshit answer. Do it. What are you waiting for? Meat's fucking delicious.
I feel there are many health/environmental/animal rights benefits to the vegan lifestyle, but I almost feel like my identity is tied up in being vegan, and I don't know if/how to transition to eating some non-plant-based foods. How did you make the decision to leave veganism, and do you have any advice for someone on the fence? Oh, how much time do you have? So I was vegan for similar to you for almost 2 years, and I really hit a wall where my body was also starting to feel really confused. I think sometimes we take our appetite for granted, or our ability to go, I wonder what sounds good to me right now. And for a lot of us, something will be pretty clear, right? Or several things. For me, between going vegan and my food allergies, I was so limited in what I could eat on a day-to-day basis that I started to feel it was almost like a disconnection from my body or my taste buds, because it felt like, well, it doesn't matter what sounds good to me. All I can eat are these 5 things.
Oh my God. Fuck that. That's crazy to me.
It's crazy. And also for me, I stopped being vegan when my mom was in the hospital. And I stopped, I think it was 4 months into her 5-month hospital stay. I was going there every day for hours and hours, and my very sweet dad would like try to, on the days he could, bring me something to eat at the hospital. And it was like, I got to a point where it's like, I can't eat another fucking lentil. Like, the things that my body is going through right now, the trauma, the stress, I was like, lentils aren't doing it. Chickpeas, not enough. Right. And then I went to an acupuncturist in Spokane, and there were 2 different women who worked at the clinic, and both of them, and this is so fucking crazy, and I'm sure vegans are going to jump down my throat for this, so just take it with a grain of salt. But both...
Oh, wait, can vegans have salt? Oh, yeah, take it with a grain of salt. That's fine. Just want to make sure you could have
that. Both of these acupuncturists, who were kind of like assessing me at the start or whatever, knew nothing about my dietary background, and they checked my pulse points. And both of these women on different visits checked my pulse points and turned to me and went, "Are you vegan?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, we can tell." Because my pulse, whatever, I can't remember exactly like the different pulse points, but they were saying it was very, very weak and very like plucky. And they said that, and this, again, I know that they take whatever of this you want, okay? But they said that they feel that because women are losing blood every month.
Period.
Exclamation point sometimes. And and that if you are on a vegan diet, sometimes you're not able to replenish it as well. That's what they said. Listen, I know there are a lot of women who are vegan.
Here's what I think. I'm nervous that you're backtracking so much.
Oh,
It
okay.
is real.
Okay.
You find iron in meat. I know you can get it in vitamins, but you're losing a ton of iron through your vagina, and you just fucking have a burger and get it back. This whole thing about, how I get iron? I get iron from a bean from the northern part of Colombia. It's like, what? Guess what? There's a fucking hamburger, I bet you, less than a mile from you. And you know what else is going to happen? The vegans, and I am going to say it, the vegans go, well, I just do it for the environment. They're not making less cows. I'll tell you that. The cow people aren't going, oh shit, another vegan? Well, yeah, I guess, all right. Get that bull's dick out of that cow. We don't need another one. That's not what's happening, for sure.
Yeah. Thank you for telling me to stop being so careful.
Well, I wasn't trying to like tell you to stop, but I just know, like, I know this story.
Yeah.
And I think anything you're going to say would not be offensive. And if it is to somebody, they need to fucking grow up.
We talked about veganism a few times on Self-Helpless, and we would get flooded with emails from angry vegans saying that we didn't know what we were talking about and that we were misspeaking and all this stuff. And so I just am trying to say, I'm not a doctor. I know that. But for me, it did feel like at that point in being vegan, about 2 years in, I was becoming deficient. It felt like my body was craving meat, And I still don't do dairy. I miss it. I just feel like it fucks with my stomach a little too much. But I was craving meat. And I will say, since bringing that back in, I feel way better. I just feel like a human. I feel like energy comes to me way more easily. So...
And I think some people do get away with the vegan diet. I think it's very good for them and it works for them. But just because something works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for someone else, right? It's not, it wasn't working for you. And I think you're allowed to say that. I can tell you something else. It's for sure not working for me. I wouldn't fuck. I tried to be vegan twice because of documentaries and I made it less than a week both times. Only because I don't want to have, the shit vegan stuff because that's what I was eating. I was eating the stuff from the frozen food section that said vegan on it.
Yeah.
And then it was not healthy at all.
Oh my God.
So I wasn't doing that. And I know you said plant-based, and I think that's a very important term there, but I just, I'll eat a burger in a leather jacket. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I like burgers.
Yeah. Me too. Listen, now that I can have my buns with it too.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I know.
It's the best time. So anyway, just go easy on yourself. You're not a bad person. And if you want to do like 50-50, if you want to have meat some days a week and then be plant-based the other days and feel like you're still helping the environment and all of that, that's awesome. But you got to take care of yourself first because you're not going to do the environment any good when you're feeling sick. Like that's...
Yeah, if you're feeling like shit, you're allowed to change your ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Put that oxygen mask on first. Okay, are you ready for this one? This is also intense.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be good.
Okay.
Okay, this is titled Chad the Liar.
Ooh, I don't care for this.
But it's based on something you said.
Okay.
About lying. They say, "Hey guys, I love the podcast and both of your comedy stylings. I am just curious about what Chad did to stop lying. Was it a difficult process, and can you give some tips on staying on the path of not being a liar? Feel free to use my name, Brad."
Brad. Oh, Brad. I will start by telling you this. Not lying has changed my life for the better in so many ways I can't even begin to tell you. It's the same with my hip surgery. I wish I would have done it sooner, but I did not. This is hard for me to give advice on because I stopped lying because I was a liar. I had to call certain friends and explain to them that I'd lied about stuff. It was eating away at me. And I didn't see any other option. So, that's why I did. And what kept me on the path of that is, Brad, I'm going to tell you something. There was one night I was lying in bed and I told some lies and I had to figure out every possible question that could be asked about those lies to have answers ready for those. And then I had to keep doing it and keep doing it. And I felt so fucking sick the next morning that it was brutal. I don't, sometimes I like joke about that kind of stuff. It just wasn't, I just wasn't who I knew I could be. So for me, it was just wanting to be the man I knew I was. And that's what kept me on the path. I don't know what story I told her. Like I said, I don't remember from last episode, but
I don't remember specifically.
Right when I started this, I was at a bar and some guy, maybe this was the story, but some guy asked me if I had seen the hockey game. And I said yes, but I'd only seen the highlights to the hockey game. So then I was like, what are you doing? That's a lie. So then I went to his table with all his friends and said, "Hey, remember when you asked me about the hockey game? I actually didn't watch the game. I just watched the highlights." And then everyone kind of scooched away from me because that's what crazy people do. And they probably thought I was going to open my jacket and have a bomb in it or something. For me, it was making sure that my kids and my friends knew they could count on me and trust me. You're only as good as your word, and my word wasn't good. And so I had to rebuild that. And all of that stuff gave me the motivation to to do that. And now my life is, I mean, if you could have seen me then and know me now, my life has gotten better 100-fold in every single aspect.
Yay.
So
that's great.
I don't know if that helps you because maybe you're not in dire straits, but I was.
Yeah. No, I think that's great advice for everybody.
All right.
Let me see where we're at time-wise. 51. Do you want to do one more? We're 51 minutes in.
Yeah, let me... just got to make sure my alarm doesn't go off here. Yeah. I got 7 minutes.
Time? Okay, great. So this, I'm going to preface this by saying when I read this email, I had a hard time with some of it, and I will be interested to hear what you think. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. It's titled, How to Get Wife in Shape.
Oh, CNC Music Factory. Come on, let's sweat. Just play that all day and make sure you're dancing with her.
Okay.
I'm ready to be serious.
They say, hi guys, big fan of the show. I've been following Kelsey for a while, though didn't know about Chad until I discovered the show.
Ooh, thank you.
They say ... on Kelsey's Instagram, nothing personal, Chad. Already got tickets to Kelsey's Denver show later this spring. Here's my dilemma. I've been married for over 10 years and we have 3 very active young kids. I am by no means a gym rat. I don't really go to the gym, nor am I an athlete in any way. However, I'm trying to stay as active as possible, eat relatively right, keep track of steps during the day, activities as often as I can. I'm in decent shape because of that. My wife, however, while very petite, slim, and active when we met, became, not very active, let's say. Naturally, she picked up weight and has less energy. This has nothing to do with kids or birth. They are all over 10 years old now. Which...
I will tell you there's no statute of limitations on giving birth.
Yeah, that was one of the things I had a problem with, but I'm going to keep reading. She's not a fan of the current trend of I feel comfortable in my own body, and she's not accepting of overweight men or women especially. Yet when she goes to the gym, which she does very frequently, she spends time there leisurely walking on the treadmill and doing something minor to the point that she never even breaks a sweat there. She's not participating in any active activities with the kids. I do all the biking, skiing, water activities, and the like with them, claiming none of them appeal to her. I tried everything from getting her a private trainer at the gym. She would go once or twice, but would find excuses like feeling sick, tired, something is hurting. After that, to trying to guilt her into going to bike runs with me and the kids. Naturally, she starts puffing and huffing a mile in, and kids start to complain. She has few friends whom she copies in many respects, but somehow yoga, gym, and the like are exceptions. Sorry, I'm just trying to paraphrase this. This is a little long. I can see she's not happy with the way she looks, and frankly, I'm starting to lose physical interest in her as well. Yes, I admit I'm somewhat shallow in that respect. However, she's still not doing anything drastic-ish to change that. I need suggestions on how to get her back in shape and active. Nothing outside and active gets her excited. I thought of staging an intervention, but I know it'd last a very short time. Help. P.S. I hope you can stay impartial, or rather partial, and on my side, but I have to say it was very satisfying to see the Wilds being railroaded by Choo Choo Train on March 8th in overtime. Haha.
Well, let's, for the fuck you.
I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah, no. I slow played it.
Yeah. The PS is about hockey for people who aren't aware of being a Wild fan. I almost didn't read this email because I knew we weren't going to be like, it's not a typical email, right? Where you and I immediately are like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. I knew that you and I were going to have some issues with this. And listen, we always appreciate you writing in, even if it's something that we are maybe not in full agreement with you about. Right. Because we are going to be honest. We're going to try to be nice, but what were your initial thoughts here?
Well, what I've seen work for my friends that are in relationships or married or whatever are, maybe you've tried this, getting some sort of Fitbit or Apple Watch. Now this involves money, so I don't know, but, and then having like a daily challenge or something. Also, if people don't want to be active, it's almost like getting sober.
Yeah.
They're not going to be. If you have given the guilt trip about getting out with the kids, because listen, when Isaac was born, my son, I was probably tied for the heaviest I've ever been.
Mm.
And then I started thinking about, oh shit, this kid's going to want to do stuff. So then I got out and I went swimming because it was easier on my joints to start. When I lost some weight, then I started lifting weights and running. And I was very thankful for that because kids, as you know, you have 3 of them, they're all over the place.
Yep.
But if that doesn't work, I don't know. You are still attracted to her. You said starting to lose. I would say do not audition for Love is Blind. That's not going to go well with you. But starting to lose attraction to her, but you still have some, so you're kind of in that sweet spot. I wouldn't make it about weight and stuff like that. I mean, the truth is, and I think you have 3 kids, you're married, you love your wife. The truth is you want your wife to be around for as long as possible.
Right.
And so while attraction is part of it, I bet you deep down it's like longevity of her life as well. So,
right.
If you do talk to her about it, I don't know, I would definitely make sure you're leaning on that side of things.
Yeah, because I think that this sort of conversation has the potential to be met with a fuck you very quickly and also make somebody even less interested, in being active or anything like that. If they feel like they're being shamed, that's just a horrible
It also
headspace.
might end with a very slow fuck you, like she goes to the gym, gets ripped up, and then goes to the bar and just starts fucking throwing it around. Goes to
Cancun and puts on a bikini bottom.
That's a slow roll. Fuck you. And I don't think you want any part of that either. So make sure this is approached with love and kindness.
Yeah. God, stuff like this is so tough where they've been together 10 years. And he said that when they met, petite, slim, and active. And this whole... Oh, there's a phone alarm. I would not ever talk about like, oh, we had kids 10 years ago. This shouldn't still be affecting you. Women's bodies change so much during pregnancy that they are not the same person afterward. Your hormones are completely different.
Yes.
There are so many women who have such a hard time losing weight after childbirth and having the same level of energy. It's just like you can't expect her to be the same person as she was before. I do understand if you want your partner to be healthy and live a long life with you, but I don't know. This whole like starting to lose physical interest. I feel for her. I don't know. I just don't want her to feel like she needs to do some sort of high intensity workout if that's not what feels right for her. Because that's not what's right for everybody. Mm-hmm. A lot of people prefer walking, prefer yoga. So when you're saying, oh, she's not even breaking a sweat, that's not necessarily the activity that's right for people. So it's not one size fits all.
And if she is heavy, starting to swimming is the best exercise you can possibly do. Mm-hmm. And it's easy on your joints. So maybe if she's heavy, she doesn't want to run because it hurts her knees or hurts her ankles or whatever it is. I mean, I'm going to tell you something right now. If I had one baby, I would go home in the hospital bed in which I delivered the child in, and I would have people bring me food until I died like Jabba the Hutt from Star Wars.
Yeah. I wonder also, I of course don't know your wife at all. I know that when I have gone through any sort of depression, it feels almost impossible to get myself to be active in any way. Mm-hmm. I wonder how she's feeling mentally. And I wonder if you could just have a conversation with her that has zero judgment to it. Just truly like, I noticed that when we first started dating, I feel like these were the sort of activities you like. And I noticed now it seems like that's less interesting to you. Would love to just know how you feel about that. Mm-hmm. Just be curious. Just ask her and see what she says. And you might just have to be okay with her response.
And I also want to throw one more thing out there. I know you said that when she does go on bike rides, she's huffing and puffing a mile in and the kids complain. Women need to cut the kids out of it because now you're double whammy, right?
Yeah.
You get to ride until she's tired, get off the bike, maybe a picnic with like some healthy snacks.
Yeah.
And then you can ride bike back. I mean, this is a baby steps thing. This isn't jumping back into what she was doing when you guys met, for sure. Because there's a reason she doesn't have energy. I mean, it could be a million reasons, but when you do gain weight, you do lose energy, and it's just harder to get motivated and get started. And sometimes it's embarrassing.
Yeah. Also, she starts huffing and puffing a mile in. I can't imagine getting a mile into a bike ride and me not huffing and puffing.
Well, it does kind of suck. It's a bike ride. It's like you live in Colorado, you could be going downhill. We don't know.
Shush. Anyway, Chad's kidding. If you don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm imagining you guys are going uphill in Colorado and huffing.
That.
It's a lot.
I walk on stage in Colorado and I'm huffing and puffing because I had to walk up 2 stairs to get onto the stage, and the altitude fucking kills me. So anyway, yeah. If you wanna update us, let us know. Great. Yeah, anything more to say about that one?
I don't. Just I think kindness is going to be key here.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. All right. Guys, thank you for writing in.
Yeah, these were great.
Yeah. pretendproblemspodcast@gmail.com. Also, please take a second, leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes and a review. You can do the same thing on Spotify. And if you can share anything about the show in your Instagram stories and tag us, we'll always try to repost it.
Yeah,
because that helps get the word out about the show. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys next week.
Okay, we'll be here.
Okay, bye.